Welcome to your personalized deep dive. You're diving into some really interesting articles about tech startup funding from early June 2024. We'll try to unpack some of the fresh insights from those, get you thinking about what's on the horizon.
Yeah, we'll go beyond just the headlines here. I see you've said over two recaps from Bearhug Recruiting. Those are always good. Focusing on environmental tech
hmm
and enterprise software should be interesting. We'll unpack those, but also, consider the... So what does this all mean looking forward?
Right, like are we seeing the rise of robot overlords or is that still a few funding rounds away?
Well, let's just say AI is definitely having a moment, but yeah, not quite sci-fi dystopia yet. Think of these recaps. These are from June 3rd and 10th, by the way, as like snapshots of where those venture capitalists are putting their money.
Okay, so before we get into specific companies, what's the big picture here? Any industry really sticking out besides the obvious, robot overlords?
Funny you should mention robots. One trend that does pop up is AI integration, but not always, like straight up AI companies. It's AI being used to improve construction, customer support, even something as, dry as sales tax.
So AI is sneaking into everything, huh? It's like the avocado of the tech world.
Except hopefully less likely to end up on toast. But you've hit on something important. AI is becoming pervasive. Now, keep in mind, this is just a glimpse, right? Plenty of startups stay under the radar till they hit a certain size.
Makes sense. So let's zoom in on some companies then. What really caught your eye? Give us the inside scoop.
One that's literally changing how we see construction is Tracer. Imagine a digital twin of a construction site. That's essentially what their platform provides. We're talking 3D data, risk reduction, all in real time.
Okay, that does sound kind of cool actually, but what's the bigger picture here? Besides fewer construction delays, I'm hoping?
Think sustainability. Construction, notoriously resource intensive, right?
Right.
Tracer's tech, it helps optimize materials, which is huge in this era of, increasing environmental awareness. Plus, their recent funding round, a $25 million Series B that's led by Peakspan Capital, with others joining in like Flashpoint Venture Capital, shows serious investor confidence.
Series B funding, for those of us who don't speak, venture capitalist.
It basically means they've proven their concept, now they're scaling up and fast. Investors are essentially betting big on Tracer's potential to, disrupt the construction industry. In a good way, hopefully.
And hopefully make my next home renovation less of a headache. Okay, what else is grabbing attention in this recap roundup?
Remember that whole finding the right software nightmare? SagiTap wants to end that. They're using AI to match businesses with software vendors, like a dating app, but for B2B SaaS.
Much less awkward small talk, I'd imagine. So instead of endless demos, this AI plays matchmaker.
Exactly. And their $6.8 million seed round, that's early stage funding, by the way, attracted some big names like NFX, Uncorrelated Ventures. But here's the kicker. 15 of SagiTap's own customers invested too.
Talk about putting your money where your mouth is, right? That's a powerful testament to their product if their own customers are investing.
It signals a potential shift in how businesses buy software, right?
Right.
Less reliance on those traditional sales pitches, more on these, AI-driven recommendations.
Which could be great if it actually works. Finding the right software can feel like searching for a unicorn sometimes.
And sometimes you end up with a donkey wearing a party hat. But yeah, SagiTap wants to change that, and their early success is definitely turning heads.
Speaking of turning heads, this next company has a name that sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie. Rain AI. What's their deal?
They're tackling a problem you might not expect. AI's energy consumption. Their focus is on energy-efficient AI hardware, specifically using something called in-memory computing.
Okay, break that down for me. In-memory computing. Sounds a little technical.
So instead of relying on those power-hungry data centers, Rain AI allows advanced AI models to run locally on devices. Imagine running complex AI in your phone without, draining the battery in 5 minutes.
That would be a game changer. No more being tethered to those clunky charging banks.
Exactly. This opens up a world of possibilities for everything from like truly personalized robotics to making powerful AI, think ChatGPT, accessible even in areas with limited internet access. And their recent $8.1 million Series A extension, led by Epic Venture Partners, shows people are taking notice.
So from construction sites to energy-efficient AI, any other surprising innovations in these recaps?
You ready for this? Kintsugi AI is taking on sales tax compliance.
Sales tax, that doesn't exactly scream sexy tech startup, does it?
I know, right? But think about it. Sales tax is a pain point for businesses, especially those operating, across state lines. Kintsugi uses AI to automate that whole process. Nexus monitoring, which is basically tracking where a company has a physical presence for tax purposes, calculations, filing, the whole nine yards. They just secured a $6 million Series A funding round, led by Link Ventures. So clearly, investors see the value in, simplifying this complex area,
So they're like the TurboTax of sales tax for businesses.
essentially.
Yeah.
And their success highlights a broader trend here. Investors are pouring money into solutions that streamline these complex, often tedious processes, making life easier for businesses, freeing them up to focus on what they do best, which is hopefully not sales tax.
Definitely not. Okay, this next company sounds like they're aiming to revolutionize customer service. Tell me about Maven AGI.
You're right about the customer service revolution. Maven AGI is using generative AI to help companies provide support without, losing that human touch. Imagine AI agents handling over 93% of inquiries, but then seamlessly handing off to a human when needed.
That sounds almost too good to be true. How do they pull that off? Especially when, some AI customer service experiences can feel, well, less than human.
That's the magic they're working on, and it's attracted some serious backing. Their $20 million Series A round was led by M13 and Lux Capital. But get this. Execs from OpenAI, Google, HubSpot, even Stripe participated personally.
Whoa. If those tech giants are putting their own skin in the game, Maven AGI must be onto something big. This isn't just some VC fund. It's the people who built the tech we use every day saying this is the future.
Exactly. And it'll be fascinating to watch how they balance that AI efficiency
Yeah.
with, genuine human connection. This isn't just about faster replies. It's about building trust, even in those automated interactions.
It's like the difference between a chatbot that feels like it's reading from a script and a real person who actually, understands your issue. Okay, ready to dive into a different sector. What's happening in the world of healthcare tech?
Flintful is on a mission to streamline pharmacy operations, which, as anyone who's waited for a prescription knows, can sometimes feel like a black hole of efficiency.
Don't even get me started on pharmacy hold music. I swear it's designed to make time move slower. But tell me more about how Plenful is tackling this.
They're using a combination of workflow automation and AI to help pharmacies improve efficiency, stay compliant with all the regulations, and ultimately boost revenue. Their recent $17 million Series A funding, led by TQ Ventures with Bessemer Venture Partners and even Mitchell Rales, co-founder of Danaher, on board, speaks to the potential they hold in this massive market.
So from streamlining construction to optimizing customer service to now making pharmacies more efficient, is there anything AI can't do? But seriously, what makes Plenful different from other players in the healthcare tech space?
One thing that stands out is their targeted approach. They're not trying to be everything to everyone. They tailor their solutions to the unique needs of different types of pharmacies, from large health systems to smaller specialty pharmacies.
Customization is key, especially in a field as complex as healthcare. Okay, up next we have Wavelogics. And I have to admit, this one sounds a bit over my head. Break it down for me.
Get ready for some serious sci-fi vibes. Wavelogics is a spin-out from Purdue University. Those folks who love to innovate. And they've created an IoT sensing and data analytics platform specifically for infrastructure quality testing.
Okay, you've officially lost me. IoT, sensors, infrastructure. What are we even talking about here?
Think bridges, tunnels, skyscrapers, anything made of concrete. Now imagine embedding sensors directly into the concrete as it's being poured.
Wait, sensors inside the concrete? That's wild. What do they actually do?
These sensors, called Rebel, constantly measure the concrete's strength as it cures. Think of it like giving the concrete a continuous health checkup. This data is incredibly valuable for construction engineers.
So instead of just hoping the concrete is strong enough, they know exactly what's happening inside in real time.
Precisely. This means they can make more informed decisions about everything from materials to scheduling. It's no wonder Wavelogic secured a $3 million Series A funding round led by Rhapsody Venture Partners. Investors are recognizing the potential of this technology to improve safety, reduce costs, and create more efficient construction processes.
It's amazing to think about how technology is transforming even the most traditional industries. Now, let's shift our focus to a company tackling a more, shall we say, urgent global issue, Claros Technologies.
You're talking about PFAS pollution, right? Those forever chemicals that are seemingly everywhere these days. Claros is developing a solution using green chemistry to actually destroy these harmful pollutants.
Okay, so we're not just talking about monitoring them or containing them, but actually like breaking them down completely. That sounds like a game changer.
Exactly. Their recent $22 million Series B funding round, co-led by Ecosystem Integrity Fund and American Century Investments, shows that investors are taking notice. And the urgency to address this issue is clearly driving investment in this space.
So they're offering a potential solution to like a really complex problem. What makes their approach stand out? There must be a reason they're attracting so much attention.
What's really impressive is their technology can tackle all types of PFAS, including the short and ultra-short chain varieties, which have been notoriously difficult to break down in the past.
It's inspiring to see companies tackling these kinds of global challenges head on. Okay, before we move on to listener takeaways, let's squeeze in one more company spotlight. What else is making waves in the tech world?
Let's talk about Smart PM. They're bringing the power of AI and machine learning to something that impacts almost every construction project: scheduling.
Scheduling, the bane of every project manager's existence.
Exactly. Smart PM's platform provides everyone involved in a project, contractors, project managers, subcontractors, with real-time data, predictive analytics, and actionable insights to keep things on track.
So instead of relying on spreadsheets and like crossed fingers, they're using data to make smarter decisions.
Precisely. And their $5.5 million Series A funding round, led by Building Ventures with GS Futures and existing investors jumping in, demonstrates the appetite for this type of solution in the construction industry. The demand for efficient, data-driven project management tools is only going to increase.
It makes sense, especially with construction projects becoming increasingly complex.
Now, speaking of complex, let's talk about a company streamlining a different kind of beast: the industrial materials marketplace. That's where Rebus comes in.
Okay, so we're moving from concrete and algorithms to steel beams and supply chains. What's the story with Rebus?
Imagine a world where buying and selling industrial materials like steel, aluminum, copper, all those like raw ingredients of modern life was as easy as ordering a pizza online. That's what Rebus is aiming for. They've created a technology platform that simplifies the entire process, bringing transparency and efficiency to a market that's, traditionally been very relationship driven.
So they're disrupting an old school industry with technology. Tell me more about how that works in practice.
Rebus offers real-time data, analytics, and even logistics support, all aimed at reducing those dreaded lead times and inventory costs. The recent $30 million in debt financing that's, borrowing money strategically to fuel growth was backed by big names like Canaan, Nosara, and HSBC as their banking partner. This shows a lot of confidence in their ability to, shake things up.
It's like they're building the Amazon Prime of industrial materials. Fast delivery, transparent pricing, the whole nine yards.
You got it. And this kind of innovation is crucial. Think about all the supply chain disruptions we've seen lately. Companies like Rebus are finding ways to make those systems more resilient, efficient, and adaptable to change.
It's incredible to see how these companies are using technology to not just, improve existing processes, but to like fundamentally reshape entire industries.
Absolutely. And that's really the common thread running through all of these companies and
Yeah.
funding announcements, right? It's not just about like incremental improvements anymore. It's about really embracing innovation to solve big problems and create a better future.
It's like we've moved beyond the era of there's an app for that to like there's a groundbreaking AI-powered solution for that. But with so much innovation happening, it can be hard to even know what's truly significant. As we wrap up, what are like the key takeaways our listeners should keep in mind?
You're right. It is a lot to process. But here's the thing. These trends, these investments, they're like breadcrumbs leading us toward the future. AI's rise is undeniable, but it's how it's being applied that's truly fascinating. We saw with Trace Air in construction, SageTap in software, even Kintsugi AI tackling that, surprisingly complex world of sales tax.
It's like AI is becoming the invisible backbone of so many industries, quietly working behind the scenes to make things more efficient, more sustainable, and dare I say, even a little bit enjoyable.
Exactly. And speaking of sustainability, that's another key takeaway here. Investors are putting their money where their values are,
Sure.
right? They're looking for companies that are not just profitable, but also environmentally responsible. Claros Technologies' innovative approach to PFAS remediation is like a perfect example of this.
It's a great reminder that doing good and doing well don't have to be mutually exclusive. In fact, the most successful companies in the years to come are likely to be those that find a way to, harmonize the two.
Couldn't agree more. And finally, I'd encourage your listener to think about the potential ripple effects of these innovations. How might these emerging technologies and trends impact their industry, their career, even their daily life.
That's such a crucial point. It's not just about understanding what's happening now, but about anticipating what might be next. What skills will be in high demand? What new challenges and opportunities will arise?
Exactly. Because the future isn't something that just happens to us. It's something we actively shape with the choices we make today.
And on that inspiring note, we've reached the end of our deep dive into the world of tech startup funding. We've journeyed from the big picture trends to the cutting edge companies making those trends a reality.
Hopefully you've come away with a fresh perspective, some new companies to add to your watch list, and maybe even a spark of inspiration for your own ventures.
Remember, the future is unwritten. And who knows, maybe the next groundbreaking innovation is just a thought away. Thanks for diving in with us.